We fixing to make this town real smoking.
You should react to your own lore video and go more in depth. Okay, let's do that. I think the story was made backwards. I think they started with having every character on the island of Yakushima, and then they worked back. How can we get all these characters to this point is basically what they did. Because you have to keep in mind, right? Even Yoshimitsu, Lydia, and Eddie are on the island. Heihachi, I believe, is on the island. The whole roster is pretty much on the island. The only characters who I believe is not on the island is Claudio and Zafina. And this is why you have like a lot of weird retcons in the beginning, because they had to twist the elements to make it make sense. We were always talking about, why did Jin allowed Raina to travel with her? They thought Raina was a spy sent by G Corporation, yet they allowed Raina to travel with them, listen to their plans, and fight with them on the battlefield. That's a huge problem that the story skips over, but they skips over it because they needed to find a way to get Raina on the island as well. You see my point? Realistically, you would not let Raina travel, but the story needs her to be there. So, and also if you think about Raina unlocks her devil gene. Jin and Kazuya loses their devil gene. Heihachi's on the island talking about people unlocking their devil genes. Raina's probably going to go to Heihachi on the island. Raina also had Lydia and Yoshi and Eddie go and unlock Mind while she was trying to unlock her devil gene. Both of those things happen at practically the same time. So now she's probably going to go to Heihachi. Heihachi and Raina's story in Tekken 8, both of them conclude when it's raining. So they probably will meet up. Exactly how you said, like the lyrics is right in front of us. A ogre, not the ogre. If you really think about that, you would know that it's referencing multiple ogres. Operating as if there's one ogre, you will miss it. It is really interesting that this voice can reach out to the Kazama people like that. Even though it's just a lullaby, that lullaby is pulling the Kazamas in. That's like if you walk into a party and someone starts playing your favorite song. Someone is playing the Kazama lullaby and making the Kazamas go to sleep. They're doing so in a way to help them, but it's like, who's pressing play? But also the fact that we did have this one ogre wake up and he traveled all around the world, right? And he did not attempt to wake up other ogres. Like, that part is really interesting, right? We don't know if there's an ogre in Mexico, Korea, or if there's another one in Central America. But we do know that there was another ogre in Japan, the island of Yakushima. And that ogre did not wake him. That's an interesting idea too, is like, are the other ogres on the same team? Ogre takes abilities from everyone, and then he transforms into true ogre. Once he transforms into true ogre, does he then wake up the other ogres? Like, we don't know like why they're not working together. They should try to work together because they would succeed, right? If Tekken 3 Central America ogre awoke and he started to wake up the other ogres, they win. But he didn't do that. Even after losing to Jun Kazama and Jin, 4 years later, he came back empty-handed and got beat up by Paul Phoenix and Jin again. What was he doing during that 4 years? But if he came back during that 4 years with the other ogres, he would have been cooking. Why don't they wake each other up? It has to be some kind of like, I want to be the one to take the powers, so when I do wake the other ogres, I'm stronger than them, and they have to listen to me. That's the only way they want to wake each other up, is because they want to be the one in charge. What I tried to do for this part of the video, I tried to show all of the major explosions. Like you can see right there in the middle, a huge explosion. You can see that this airplane also crashed, right? The reason why I tried to show you all of these moments is to show you the chaos, right? The destruction. How, you know, a plane crashing is a very massive thing, and that should be enough to wake up Ogre. A bomb going off should be enough to wake up Ogre. I tried to show the destruction of the war so you can see why this should wake up Ogre. But there's currently, look at this. You have Jin. Look at the way he slams down on the ground. And Kazuya. Look at how much force that creates. After Jin figures out his devil gene and he goes on this self-discovery journey, look at the way he shoots this laser. He's in, and look at the way it hits Lars. Look at all the spiritual energy. If the Yakushima ogre is on the island, he should feel that. We know that this blast is the same blast that Kazuya used in New York City, and from Raven's description, it leveled an entire block. Look at all these fighters. Tekken 3 Central America Ogre didn't have access to all of these great warriors. Yakushima Ogre does. And then Kazuya bodies everyone. Kazuya knocks her down with the laser, and she wakes up a little while later after the meteor already fell from the sky. So this is a lot of time that passed. And I don't think we understand that from watching this story, but that's what I try to highlight, is how much time is passing while Jin and Kazuya are fighting. It's not just one quick fight. Like they fight like all night. This part is really interesting. This ogre extends his arms out. If other ogres, I would have, and he starts absorbing some kind of energy from someone. And look at the way that they show Jin. Purple energy. So one could assume that the developers is saying here that Ogre is taking the powers of Jin, and this gives him enough power. He basically like tears open like the multiverse or something. It doesn't look like they're coming from like different parts of the world. It looks like they're coming from different parts of space. If you talk about multiple ogres being on Earth, it's not hard to believe that there's many more ogres in space. We know that Paul Phoenix was strong enough at one point to one-shot an ogre. So Paul could take one, Jin could take one, Kazuya could take one, Heihachi could take one, Raina could take one, Harag and a couple others could. So, I mean, they all can work together to take them down, but they would all have to work together. We know that's not what they do, right? If multiple ogres showed up, I can very quickly see Heihachi coming up with some scheme to try and backstab everyone. When I was watching the story, I didn't realize that the flower that Jin picked up was the same flower that Jun gave him. That means that he still has the ability to remove Devil Gene with that flower, and he still has the flower, so that means he could potentially do it again to Raina. Can I get like a quick like yes or no if you think the ogre wakes up and starts taking abilities? Is that too far-fetched of a theory for you guys, or do you think that's what the developers are actually like setting up? Because at this point in time, when Jin and Kazuya are fighting in these angel forms, everyone is already knocked out. And then this part right here, this is when Heihachi is clapping Lydia's cheeks right now. This is when Raina is standing up with her Devil Gene. I do want to highlight that we don't know what Raina and Heihachi are doing in this part. We know that Jin is doing this. We know that Kazuya is with Jun Kazama. But if you talk about Heihachi and Raina and what they're doing right now, the game doesn't show us. I was also trying to think, like, is this morning? What time of day is this? There's a lot of times where characters fight for multiple days. We know that Paul Phoenix and Kuma fought for 3 days. You guys remember that? It could last a week for all we know. I know it most certainly doesn't happen in one day. Because look at all this. You have swirling tornadoes of water. Like apocalyptic scenario. This is a good live stream. Thank you. Notice how at the top here you have snow. This could very much be where Heihachi is at. If Jin and Kazuya are fighting, let's say somewhere over here, it would make sense as to why Heihachi is standing here and he's looking across and he's seeing fire. But if this was a different island, why is there fire there then? I don't think it's possible to look over the waves. Oh wait, you can look over the waves. You see that? We got a glimpse of another island. So there is islands that's viewable. So Heihachi could literally be over there. This could be the highest point of the island that Heihachi is on, because the island that Heihachi on, he's not standing at the highest point. So look, you see what I mean about how there's higher points up there on the mountain? The part that we could be looking at is somewhere up there, right? This is the island of Yakushima, right? And there's this island real close. There's this island. And look at this island, Mishima Island. If Heihachi's not on Yakushima, that's where he is. We know he's close enough to see the fire. He's close enough to get hit by meteors. We know he's close. Heihachi also said Kazuya's next while looking in the direction of the island. Yeah, exactly. You say same island, so I think we all would agree that Heihachi is on the same island. Or if he's not on the same island, he's on an island that's very close. And the way that these characters are flying back and forth between islands, it might as well be the same island.